What kind of love could make a man sneak into his daughter's boyfriend's life, even though he knew it was a terrible move? Even worse, after they met, the man started asking for more. This clearly didn't just disrupt the woman's normal life, but also led them down a far more complicated path. They got so close that the man's daughter almost discovered their secret. In the end, the woman was forced to make an agreement to maintain this forbidden relationship. And even more surprisingly, she was the one who decided when they could meet. Without her approval, the man didn't dare to come on his own. As time went on, the man completely fell under the woman's control, making him lose all rational thought. Ironically, this shameful act would eventually destroy his life without him even realizing it. William was a highly skilled surgeon who had gained incredible fame for successfully separating conjoined twins. He was married to Ingrid, a beautiful woman, and they had a very close relationship. They were also blessed with a handsome son, Jay, and a tomboyish daughter named Sally. Their middle-class life seemed happy and free from pressure. However, one thing that always bothered them was his father-in-law, a politician who constantly threw never-ending cocktail parties. One night, in the middle of a crowded party, William noticed a woman who immediately caught his eye. Not long after, they met in front of the bar. The woman, named Anna, seemed intrigued by the older and more mature William. Their intense eye contact made the atmosphere even more charged. William even offered Anna some olives, adding a little push to their growing connection. However, with so many people around, Anna decided to hold back and walked away from William. As soon as Anna left, William got lost in his own thoughts, unaware that his wife, Ingrid, was already walking toward him. Meanwhile, Anna found herself obsessed with William. She kept watching him until he finally left with Ingrid. It turned out that Anna was Jay's girlfriend, William's son. The next day, Jay excitedly brought Anna to meet his parents. William and Anna had already met at the cocktail party, but they both pretended it was their first time meeting. At one point, while William was washing dishes in the kitchen, their hands accidentally touched. It was as if they were communicating without words. That night, Ingrid wanted to invite William to work out together, but William, who usually never refused Ingrid's requests, seemed a bit tired. The next day, while William was at work, he received a call from Anna. She simply gave him a time and an address without saying much. From that moment on, William found it increasingly difficult to focus on his work. His mind and heart were consumed by his meeting with Anna. As soon as he finished his surgery, he rushed to the place Anna had told him about. When they met, it was as if they hadn't seen each other in ages, embracing tightly without needing to say a word. Without many words, their feelings were fully expressed through an emotional embrace. After such an intense meeting, they both felt exhausted, yet something undeniable had formed between them. From that moment on, William's usually busy and routine-filled life changed drastically after meeting Anna. His once ordinary life felt empty, as if it had no color, but suddenly Anna's presence made it shine. It was as if she had brought light into his dull existence, and William began looking forward to every message from her, as if each word carried a new kind of happiness. But today, instead of waiting for a message from Anna, William was waiting for a message from his son, Jay, who wanted to talk to him. Though slightly worried, William had no idea what was going on with Jay. It turned out Jay was simply concerned about how his mother, Ingrid, would react to his relationship with Anna. Jay had no clue that his father was already caught in Anna's embrace. William was sinking deeper into this relationship, and Anna knew it. To keep things stable and safe, Anna decided to set strict rules. If not, she wouldn't hesitate to end everything. And now William was completely under Anna's control. One day, while William was talking to his father-in-law, he suddenly received a message from Anna. Without a second thought, he abandoned the important event and rushed to Anna's apartment. But just as he was about to reach the door, another message came. Anna had canceled their date. Shocked, William still knocked on the door. But instead of Anna, her friend Peggy answered. Feeling awkward, William could only say that he was a friend of Anna's. Luckily, Anna appeared at just the right moment, saving William from his confusion. She explained that the change of plans was sudden and that they would have to reschedule their meeting. Firmly, Anna shut the door without giving him a chance to explain any further. The more mysterious and in control Anna became, the less William could resist. He found it hard to concentrate, and even Ingrid started to suspect that something was off. She felt there was something strange about William's behavior. However, William tried to deny it, claiming he was just busy with work. Even though Ingrid had her doubts, William was already too deep in this relationship to back out. When William found out that his son, Jay, planned to take Anna on a trip to Paris, he couldn't contain himself. Using the excuse of attending a medical conference in Brussels, he secretly slipped away to Paris. From across the street, he sat in a cafe, watching the hotel where Anna was staying, observing their every move. As night fell, William could no longer hold back. He called Anna's hotel room, and after hanging up, Anna told Jay she was stepping out for some fresh air. In reality, she was going out alone. She followed William's instructions and met him. When they saw each other, Anna was furious and accused William of breaking the rules they had agreed upon. However, despite the tension, they couldn't ignore the overwhelming pull between them. Afterward, Anna warned William never to follow her again and told him to leave. The next day, to put some distance between herself and William, Anna decided to leave the hotel with Jay. Watching them depart with their luggage, William felt an unfulfilled longing creeping in. Without a second thought, he immediately checked into the room they had stayed in the night before. Once inside, he greedily lifted the sheets and grabbed the pillow where Anna had slept. In his desperation, he buried his face in it, inhaling her scent as if it could somehow satisfy the craving consuming him. A deep jealousy overtook him, making him lose control of himself. For the rest of the day, William just sat and waited, waiting for a call from Anna. That day was supposed to be their time together, but the anxiety that his son might find out about their relationship made him restless. However, Anna reassured William that Jay had given her permission to keep their relationship private. William's curiosity grew stronger. He wanted to know everything about Anna, but she suggested that sometimes silence was the strongest form of love. Anna then began talking about her past. She told William about her late brother. When Anna was a teenager, her brother loved her deeply, but when she refused to join him in something extreme, he took his own life. Jay knew about Anna's late brother, but he never knew what had really happened. Feeling even more drawn to Anna's story, William admitted that he had torn out the pages from the book where Anna had written about their relationship while she wasn't looking. Suddenly, a text message from an unknown sender popped up on his phone, warning him not to do anything reckless. Feeling suspicious, William immediately called Anna, wanting to tell her about the message he received. But before he could say anything, Anna made a shocking demand. If he wanted their relationship to continue, he had to accept her marriage to Jay. Though it felt unbearable, William, with a heavy heart, eventually agreed to Anna's request. They announced the engagement at a dinner party. The guests all congratulated them, but William could only escape to the restroom, overwhelmed with frustration. Anna calmly followed him and reminded him that his unannounced trip to Paris must never happen again. If it did, she would end their relationship. If he wanted to stay with her, he had to learn to control his emotions. Still thinking about the mysterious text message, William showed it to Anna. With confidence, she guessed who had sent it. Without saying much, Anna went straight to Peggy's house, the only person who knew everything about her past. Though she assumed it was just a reminder from a friend, she didn't realize there was something else she had yet to do. As they both tried to figure out who had sent the message, Jay suddenly arrived at the apartment. Anna had no choice but to leave with him, pretending as if nothing had happened. But her mind kept racing. Even her encounters with William started to feel hazy, as if they were just fleeting moments slipping away. The climax came when Anna and Jay's engagement party began. Everyone was there to congratulate them, but something was different about Anna's mother, Elizabeth. Her expression changed the moment she saw Jay, because he looked so much like Anna's late brother, the man who had loved her deeply. The atmosphere grew awkward, and Anna, noticing Elizabeth's reaction, quickly shut it down. Ingrid then thanked all the guests for coming to the event. She proudly said that the secret to love was trust, just like the trust she and William had always maintained, always being honest with each other. Ingrid proposed a toast to Anna and Jay, but suddenly, in a fit of anger, William unintentionally crushed the glass in his hand. Anna's eyes locked onto him, and Elizabeth witnessed the moment as William went to the restroom to clean his wound. Elizabeth approached him and warned him to be careful. William didn't know how to respond, confused by her cryptic warning, but Anna arrived just in time to ease the tension. Even so, Elizabeth kept noticing something unusual about the way William looked at Anna. There was something unsettling in his gaze. Anna immediately begged her not to say anything more about it. Elizabeth knew her daughter well. She understood that Anna was someone driven by emotions, and she didn't want to see another tragedy befall her. With tears in her eyes, Elizabeth seemed to be hiding a heavy burden. Late that night, when neither of them could sleep, they met outside. They didn't say much, just exchanged looks, then sat together on the grass under the shadows. One day, Anna was busy picking out bridesmaid dresses when she discovered a secret. It turned out that Sally was the one who had sent the warning message to William because she had found a torn piece of paper from Anna's notebook hidden in her father's garment bag. Although the note didn't mention any names, it detailed her father's date with another woman. This made Sally suspicious that her father was having an affair. Luckily for Anna, she was a smooth talker and managed to erase Sally's doubts with a few convincing words. After that, the two of them started enjoying their time together without guilt. Anna even gave William the key to her apartment so they could spend more time together. However, Jay felt like Anna was hiding something. Doubt and suspicion began creeping into his mind. During Jay's bachelor party, he heard something shocking from his father. "Sometimes silence can be a form of love." Jay froze at those words. Anna had once told him that if he wanted to be with her, he had to learn to love without asking questions. In fact, she had even asked him never to try to understand her past. At that moment, Jay's mind went blank, but his feet seemed to follow William's path uncontrollably. Without realizing it, Jay arrived at Anna's best friend's house. Inside, William and Anna were lost in their passion, something beyond control. As Jay reached the apartment door, he heard a voice from inside that was all too familiar. He didn't want to believe it, but his curiosity forced him to confirm his suspicion. Without thinking twice, Jay kicked the door open. The scene that greeted him inside was too much to handle. Anna and William were together right before his eyes. Heartbroken, Jay instinctively backed away from the door and fell over the railing. Hearing the noise, William rushed down the stairs and immediately cradled his son, who was lying there covered in blood. William cried, unable to believe what had just happened. He looked at Anna, who in shock, silently walked away, though there was regret in her eyes. But it was too late. Not long after, news about William spread everywhere, and his reputation was shattered. Ingrid, deeply shaken, couldn't accept the reality of it all. She was devastated and furious, blaming William for everything that had happened, especially for the loss of their son. Ingrid was in so much pain that she even hurt herself. After saying her final goodbye to Jay, she ultimately decided to separate from William. Shockingly, William didn't seem to change even after losing his son. He remained anxious and worried about Anna. Despite being condemned by many, William sought out Anna's friends just to find out where she was. Meanwhile, Anna chose to stay silent at her mother's house. Though she seemed more broken, death hadn't completely destroyed her. Instead, her mother noticed that Anna kept getting herself into trouble. Her mother pleaded with her to stop creating more problems. Every man who had ever loved her had met a tragic fate, just like her brother. It turned out that Anna's mother knew about the relationship between Anna and her brother. She was aware that her son's love for Anna was incestuous, yet she hadn't stopped it early on. As a result, Anna's brother took his own life after being rejected by her. Deeply upset, Anna accused her mother of not taking action sooner and blamed her for his death. Later, Anna went to the honeymoon hotel with Jay. There, she planned to find a random man to ease the pain in her heart. However, by coincidence, the man's wife appeared beside her, forcing her to leave immediately. In the end, Anna was left with a quiet and lonely night. Just as Anna was walking in front of the hotel, a very familiar figure appeared. It was William. He had learned everything from Anna's friends and had rushed to the honeymoon hotel. The moment he saw Anna, it seemed as if he had forgotten all his sorrow. William wanted to be with her again. At that moment, he felt free, no longer bound by his family. However, William didn't know that Anna felt trapped under the heavy burden of guilt. It was as if all their sins were destined to follow them for a lifetime. At that moment, regret consumed Anna. She felt she had hurt too many people around her, even thinking that she should never have met William in the first place. She felt like she had lost the ability to love. In the end, Anna chose to leave William. From that moment on, she started a new life, leaving behind all the painful memories. Meanwhile, William remained stuck in his own troubles, unable to escape the hardships that plagued him. He bought the apartment where they used to spend time together, and there he found their old diary, a diary that reminded him of their past. Eventually, William spent the rest of his life regretting all his past actions. He realized that perhaps the only way to avoid infidelity was to learn to control his desires and stay away from the traps of misguided love, just as he had fallen into.